What's up, y'all? As you're adding theater performances to your end of the year calendar, remember in Chicago, you ain't just got to watch the shows, but you can also be a part of them. That's probably no truer than that the Second City's best kept secret tell everyone at their ETC theater. The 6-person ensemble takes everything you know and love about the iconic venue, the sketches, the songs and dance and the improv, and delivers a one-of-a-kind experience Thursdays through Sundays. Tickets are available now at secondcity.com. Today on CityCast Chicago, somehow, some way, we have made it to the last month of the year, my friends. So the team is here to give our guide to December. It's Monday, December 2nd. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I'm in the building with the original CityCast Chicago team. Of course, I'm talking about executive producer Simone Alicea.
Hey, Jacoby.
We're also joined by Hey Chicago newsletter editor Sydney Madden.
Hi, Jacoby.
Hey, I appreciate both of y'all being in the building with me today, as well as everybody who is listening. If you are new to the podcast, CityCast Chicago is your mama's favorite daily news podcast. You're thinking, Kobe, I just found out about the podcast. How does my mom know about it? Maybe you should text or call more. How about that? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we are having conversations that matter to us as people who love the city of Chicago. Last month, we talked about a lot of things. We talked pensions. We've talked ongoing budget discussions, but we also talked about some of our favorite places to go out and listen to music on the weekends. We talked about some of our favorite places to go get pie across the city of Chicago. So we do a little bit of everything, and we do it damn good. And of course, it's not just the podcast. We also have our Hey Chicago newsletter, which we also put in your inbox every morning, Monday through Friday. Head over to our website, chicago.citycast.fm, and you can get your hands on everything we have to offer, the podcast, the newsletter, and so much more. Moving into December, we already know it's like Mariah Carey month. All month, people are going to be singing show tunes in your face, be telling you about the litany of holidays, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Christmas, whether it's New Year's Eve. But let's start off with our best non-holiday tip, something we want to remind Chicagoans and listeners that they should be focused on or thinking about or enjoying this month. Simone, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, I think it is already being felt across the city with these 4 p.m. sunsets. But I would just like to remind everybody that the shortest day of the year is coming up, the winter solstice. So the good news is that after December 21st, the days are going to get longer. So you just got a few weeks. That's all you got. You just have a few more weeks. And then it will start to get better. The other thing that I think it's important to keep in mind is there are lots of like solstice celebrations that you can take part in to recognize this short day. But also, like, I think it's good to do this stuff because it's literally the best remedy to long, dark days is getting out, doing a thing, seeing some people. So Lynx Hall in North Center is going to be doing its annual solstice sunrise concerts, which are happening on the 21st, the 22nd, and 23rd. If you are more of the on the other side of things and more of a nighttime person, Nocturna Winter Solstice Ball is going to be happening at Metro on the 21st. So Nocturna, a very well-known goth party that happens at Metro on the regular. So just a couple of things to get you out, get you to go do stuff on this shortest day of the year. My other recommendations when it comes to getting through this dark season, we just did an episode about mutual aid in Chicago as one way of giving back, of actually getting to know your community and helping your community. But also, this is the time of year to get cozy, get warm. So yeah, if you can make it to the spa, that's a good one. Or just, do it at home. But yeah, do something. I really cannot emphasize enough. Do something. Don't just sit, because that is my downfall, I think, constantly.
Hey, there are going to be some really good parties happening on December 21st. Chosen Few DJs is playing a holiday party at View from 4 to 11:55 at View Rooftop Bar. It's a Motown Christmas featuring salutes to Martha Reeves, the Vandellas, Stevie Wonder, the Temptations, and the Four Tops. It's taking place out at Des Plaines Theater. And then you also got Mariachi Herencia de Mexico at the Old Town School of Folk Music. That actually kicks off that Friday, December 20th, but they're going to be playing throughout the weekend. So yes, these shorter days, I don't know, maybe I'm getting older, maybe it's recency bias, but I have looked at my phone at least 5 times over the last couple of weeks thinking it was 9 o'clock and it was 5:44, 6:15, 4:49. And so I have been less motivated at the end of the day to move, to go out. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock and I'm supposed to hang on till 10 to go do this thing. I already feel beat down and like I should be in the bed.
So I feel like, and venue owners, if you're listening, here's a free idea from me to you. I feel like during these dark days, clubs, bars, etc. should do their specials at like 6:30 p.m. and but treat it like it's a party that's happening at midnight. You know what I mean? Like it already feels like it's midnight outside. Here's your fake midnight party.
I actually really like that. What if I told you could have all the winter fun? Yes, I'm talking the snow, the lights, the music, without having to stand out in the bitter cold. Paramount Theater in Aurora is your entertainment home for the holidays. The regional premiere of Disney's Frozen, the Broadway musical, brings winter magic right to our backyard. Listen, I'm only gonna say this phrase once and I already know the song gonna get stuck in your head. Do you wanna build a snowman? I see you. Join Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and Sven for this stage fairy tale that the Trib calls a multi-dimensional fantasia and simply spectacular. Disney's Frozen, the Broadway musical, is playing now through January 19th. Get tickets at ParamountAurora.com or by calling 630-896-6666. Use promo code CityCast and they'll give you $5 off up to 4 tickets. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. As many of us are in full-blown holiday mode, let's remember it can get real easy to lose yourself in the things you're doing for others. And while you're doing all of this, you're still trying to process everything that has happened in 2024. Luckily, you don't have to process all of that isolated inside of your head. If you're thinking of starting therapy this holiday season, give BetterHelp a try. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, managing stressful situations on the days you just ain't got it. Also, BetterHelp is entirely online and designed to be convenient and flexible to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/citycast today to get 10% off your first month. Yes, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/citycast. Sydney, as you're thinking about your non-holiday December, what are some tips for CityCast Chicago listeners?
I think people need to upgrade their winter gear. I speak from experience. During the first snow a few weeks ago, I learned the bottom of my winter boots have lost their traction. And that's not fun.
Did you learn that the hard way, Sydney?
I was just going to say, did you learn on your ass?
No, it wasn't that bad. Largely because, it was just kind of slushy. It wasn't icy. But I was walking and I was like, why am I I'm slipping and sliding a little bit. So, everyone should make sure, their winter coats are warm enough. Their winter boots, they are not going to slip in. And kind of in that same vein, donate winter clothes and gear. There's lots of organizations around town hosting drives, including the Chicago Bears. You can drop off different coats at participating Jewels. The Chicago Help Initiative has a Amazon list and a River North location where you can drop stuff off.
Do y'all have a favorite brand of like winter gear, winter boots? Because I'm someone who I own one pair of boots, and I only got them because I went to Alaska. Despite living in Chicago, never had any boots out here ruining my gym
like
shoes.
Snow boots.
Yeah, like
or just
I
boots,
have,
period.
no,
you didn't
boots,
have any kind of boots.
No, I just been ruining gym shoes every single winter.
Wild.
Wait,
Howard,
but
what?
Simone, he has a lot of like sneakers. It's not
but
that
that's
wild.
So cost ineffective.
And also,
that's
I have no coats.
Effective.
I have no.
What?
I have not. I have
no,
not.
That's a Chicago thing, though.
Winter coat. Not
that is
one. The hard part is if I ask my brother or one of my two best friends, Chris or Darius, like where I can get boots, where I can get coat, they sending me Ralph Lauren and Kith and Montclair. I'm like, no, y'all, I need like some. My homie Chris was like, oh, I got this perfect coat for you. Sent to me $1,800. I'm like, Christopher. Christopher.
Can I give you a tip? Can I give you a tip? Here's my favorite place to get boots, actually, is Nordstrom Rack.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Nordstrom Rack is my shoes in general, but boots in particular, because the deals are quite good. They carry some really, really nice brands, but you're not paying, that sort of full retail Nordstrom price. And I've gotten a pair of Sorels from there I really like. I think that's where I got my snow boots too.
If you listening and you thinking, Kobe, I got you. Please let us know at 773-780-0246. Where can I buy cost-effective winter? I haven't had winter gloves, winter boots, a winter coat in years. I've been beanies, layered jackets, and gym shoes. Y'all help me out. But again, all of the winter stuff that I own, I have like a pair of snow overalls. I got the Doc boots now, and I do have a couple pair of like really thick socks. But all of that I only got because I went to Alaska, not because I live in the polar vortex. Apparently, all because I went to Alaska for 5 days.
That's the most Chicago thing I've ever heard. Jacoby, not that I think you should be giving anyone any winter tips, but what's your best tip for December?
Well, if people was listening in November, they know I got towed last month, and it was the worst. I had to go to Lower Wacker. I had to pay the ticket, the towing fee, and the storage fee. So my biggest tip in December is to remember the winter overnight parking ban goes into effect as of yesterday. The ban is in place every year between December 1st and April 1st, and it prohibits drivers from parking on nearly 107 miles of city streets from 3 to 7 a.m. per day. And that's according to the city's Department of Streets and Sanitations. Not only will you be towed, but you will face a minimum $150 towing fee, a $60 ticket, and a storage fee of $25 per day, as long as the car remains at the pound. I believe a couple years ago, they towed 200 cars on the first day, back in 2022, according to Block Club. And don't look at that sign and think, oh, there is no snow, so I'm good. Last year, there was only 15 days of measurable snow out of 121 days that the ban was in effect, and they still tow every single day. Last year, over 7,700 cars got towed. So you got the overnight parking ban, whether or not there is snow, and you got the if there are 2 inches of more, don't park here. And this year, they say it will likely be more snow. And so I can only imagine what that will do for the numbers, given I think this will be potentially our snowiest winter since the pandemic. Obviously, in this month, holidays are on the top of people's mind, whether y'all like us and y'all hoping for that holiday vacation towards the end of the month, whether you stressed out about when, where, how much you're going to spend on gifts. That vibe is really in my apartment right now. So Sydney, let's start with you. As the holidays approach, what is your big tip for people listening?
We created a holiday bucket list. I'm super excited. We've done iterations of this in the past for the summer. And there's lots of things to look forward to around the city. There's ice skating rinks now open, Maggie Daly, Millennium Park, tons of neighborhood rinks. There's also lessons for people who are bad at ice skating, which I think we all are, ?
Yeah. None of us is good at it. So
exactly. Yeah. So we'll do a private CityCast lesson. There's also holiday lights displays. There's obviously the big tree downtown. The Museum of Science and Industry has their Christmas trees around the world display. I'm going to Geneva in a few weeks actually this weekend, to do a Christmas walk and go into people's homes that they decorated.
Inside their homes?
Hold on. Yeah, right. Both Simone and I was like, hold on. People are like doing Airbnb light shows where they open the home to the community to come see their...
I think so.
That's so
my
cocky.
boyfriend's...
I love it.
I mean, it's Geneva, so I don't really know. I guess that's what they do there. And I'll keep you posted how it goes. But I'm counting that for our little bingo card we put together. There's also a ton of pop-up bars around town. There's the Mariah Carey one downtown, the 8 Crazy Nights, a Hanukkah-themed one in Lakeview. So just like tons of things to look forward to.
I don't know if you guys have driven or walked through Wrigleyville lately. It's pretty much all holiday pop-ups. Like it's just a strip. Clark Street is just a strip of various holiday pop-up bars. It's kind of wild. One tip, whether this is something you're interested in or something you're trying to avoid, is T-Box, which is a Christmas holiday bar crawl that happens every year in Wrigleyville. That is happening on Saturday, December 14th. I think I mentioned this on the show before. I have been on a train caught completely unawares where all of a sudden there was a sea of drunken elves and Santa Clauses on the Red Line, and I was so confused. And it wasn't until I did a little Googling later that I found out about this. So if it's something you're into, check it out. If it's something you're trying to avoid, that's the day to maybe take an Uber that day. Jacoby, what about you? Do you got a tip for the holidays?
Oh, yes. Locking in your New Year's Eve plans sooner rather than later. I feel like the last few years I have been scrambling in the last few days leading up to New Year's Eve, mostly because everyone's all of a sudden like, oh, you want to do something? Do we want to go somewhere? And then I just sort of feel overwhelmed. And so I think at the least, you should have a sense of like what your options are. Kind of get a sense of what costs are, where are things happening. I think most people know about the New Year's Eve fireworks at Navy Pier. They also have a ton of like Navy Pier sponsored New Year's Eve parties where they give you nice vantage point to the fireworks. There are also lakefront cruises. Sometimes when people picture like being on the water in Chicago, they think just the open face cruises. But a lot of these cruises are like insulated, like inside, like you'll be seated kind of looking out on the water versus like exposed to the elements. So there is a mix there for people who might be interested in getting on a boat. This might also be a good time to get in that, Michelin star or prefix menu that you wanted to get to in 2024, but you didn't have any time. So a couple of places, Topolobampo, the award-winning Mexican restaurant, is going to have live mariachi, rare mezcals. Smith, which is connected to the Loyalists. They are also Chicago's second ever 3 Michelin star restaurant. And that's where if you're trying to like do it big, you want some truffles, you want some caviar, some champagne flights, you can go over to Smith or head up to Bar Esme and Lincoln Park. Again, all 3 of those options, pretty expensive, but maybe that's the time of the year when you really want to get it in. And then just for some party options, Chicago's hotel parties, tried and true every year. You got the Congress Plaza Hotel, Willis Tower, Palmer House, Godfrey, London House. All of their tickets are already available. I'd probably get on that sooner rather than later. Also, most of these have tiered prices, so they'll be more expensive the closer and closer you get. If you're just trying to hang out in the neighborhood, maybe just chill with friends, a little bit of music, some drinks, a bunch of bars and venues around the city. They're going to have hip hop, R&B at Promontory and Hyde Park, live jazz at Andy's in River North. Pretty Lights is playing electronic music at Wintrust and South Loop. You can get your techno in at Radius and Pilsen, house music at Spy Bar in River North, or head up to Smart Bar and Metro and G-Man, who is doing like a group project New Year's Eve party up in Wrigley. And so there are plenty of options, even if you just want to stay home. I would make that decision early so that you're not sort of being overwhelmed by just the vast number of options across the city.
I cannot double emphasize that point of making your plans early. I cannot tell you how many times I have been like, oh, surely I can just go to this bar I always go to. Oh, wait, they're having a ticketed party. Or, oh, wait, they've had to hire a bouncer because this line is like out of control.
Simone, what about you? What are your holiday tips for people?
Yeah, so just like the one thing you might want to watch out for is the T-Box bar crawl. One other thing that you might want to watch out for, either because you're trying to catch it or because you want to avoid it, is the CTA holiday train, which I think is on our holiday bucket list.
It is, yeah.
To catch one of the holiday trains. This is a train that is beautifully decorated. Sometimes Santa is there and there are pictures with Santa. However, particularly on those Santa picture days, it can get crazy crowded. And because you have a lot of parents with kids who are lined up and maybe you're just trying to get home on your commute. So those Santa days that are still coming up, on December 7th, Santa will be on the brown and orange lines. On December 14th, Santa will be on the pink and blue lines. And on the 21st, Santa will be on the red and purple lines. So the trains do run several other days besides those, but those are the days that are going to be the most crowded. So that's one thing to watch out for. One other tip that I have is every year I like to play a little game to do my holiday shopping. It's not really a game. There's no winners or losers, but because I fly home to Seattle for Christmas, what I really try to do is I try to buy all local stuff from small shops and small makers in Chicago so that I can pack it up, bring it home, and be like, look at this cool stuff, family, that none of your friends are going to have. I've been doing this a couple years now, and basically what I have like a list on my Maps app of different local shops around the city. And, every weekend in December, I go out and I travel around to different shops all over the city. Like, I go down to Bronzeville, I go out to Humboldt Park, way up on the Northwest side, looking at gift shops. I pick an area, pick a day, and I tick all the shops in that area. And then you get to see all the different neighborhoods, Christmas decorations. You're supporting local business. I often refer back to Block Club Chicago has a great local gift guide. I think one of the most thorough, one of the best. One of my favorite things to do in the holiday season is turn my holiday shopping into like a fun, like city experience. So it feels a little bit less like a chore also.
And shopping local is on the holiday bucket list. So check for Simone.
I have checked so many things already, theoretically, on the holiday bucket list.
I see you. I want to add to that. I think in addition to shopping local, especially this time, if you're thinking about gifts for people, making local, crafting local. Like I've done rug making, candle making, there's fragrance making in Chicago. Oh, I also did a junk journal making class that I gave to somebody. They're painting sips. Like one potential option for the gifts that you give to your family is you could make something. And that the stress of shopping for people can be a lot. But I think one way to make it a little easier on yourself and also get that beautiful reaction from people when they get something like homemade. You could do rug making and tufting, I believe, in both Bridgeport and I think their Andersonville location.
In Andersonville, yes, it's open.
There's one in Wicker too.
Oh, nice. I did candle making in Wicker, I think fragrance making in the West Loop, or there's also, you can take someone to Scratch Goods and they do face mask classes and skincare routine courses that you could take people to. So, I'm down for a good make someone something, take them to a class, experience something new type vibes. And Chicago's it has its cup running over with options during this season.
What about the journal? That sounded awesome. Where did you make that?
Oh, I made it with the artist Lauren Marie, and she hosted it at a gallery space in Wicker, but she does pop up sessions throughout the year. She's one of my favorite artists, photographers, collage artists, and so taking that class with her was real fun.
She took our headshots, right?
That's what I was going to say.
She did take our headshots. Every single month, one of my favorite parts of this episode is us talking about the things we are most looking forward to trying or eating. Simone, we're going to start with you. Last month, you said you wanted to eat some French onion soup. I have a sneaky suspicion you did not get to it, but luckily we are still in season. What are you hopeful to eat this month?
This month, I am looking forward to any variation of mulled wine in December, whether that is the Glog at Simon's Tavern in Andersonville, which they serve with like a little like ginger snap it's got like a little ritual. It's very cute. I love it. Or like I think it's pronounced glow wine. At Chris Kindle Market, which is what you can get in the Chris Kindle mug, which this year is a boot. We love it. To me, it's one of those things that that feels like a very adult Christmas experience, right? When you're a kid, it's all about the hot chocolate, right? Maybe you were a cider kid. For me, that mulled wine, that hot spiced, I don't know, there's something about it that is still evokes that feeling of yes, it's winter and it's the holidays, but also, you got a little kick to it, which is nice. It feels a little more elevated. Sid, what about you? What are you looking forward to eating?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need a break from sweets. It's been a lot with a lot of cookies, a lot of pies, hot chocolate. So I'm going down a savory path. And last month, my cousin had a birthday party that was a pickling party. And
I love this.
You would really like this, cousin Simone. But it was really fun. It was also a surprise pickling party. So we met up at the Bagu store in Wicker and then went back up to Rogers Park. And her husband had all her friends were there chopping vegetables. And then we went back and pickled. And it was a lot of fun.
What kind of vegetable did you pickle?
I did 3 jars. One was just cucumbers. And then I think I don't know, whatever they had in front of me, like carrots, peppers.
My second question is, how do you like to eat your pickles? Do you like to just eat them plain?
Yeah, I'll eat them plain. I also like them in on burgers, sloppy joes, anything, sandwiches.
I recommend adding pickles to any variation of chicken salad, tuna salad, like anything that's chopped with either mayonnaise or cream or yogurt or whatever. Add a little pickle. It's going to give you a crunch and a zing. Also, just on rice, just pickles on rice. I'm telling you, man.
White rice?
Yeah. Talk to me later. I'll give you all my, I think you could put a pickle on anything and it will make it better.
Thanks for the pickle enthusiasm. What about you, Jacoby? What are you looking forward to eating?
So in the last couple of years, my mom has started this Thanksgiving holiday tradition where on the Friday after Thanksgiving, we do this big fish fry, which feels so quintessential, not only Chicago, but sort of Great Migration. All of these Black families that moved up to the north throughout the start of the 1900s, late 1800s. And I say that because in my household, I grew up eating fried fish, spaghetti. And as a result, I want to try the places in Chicago that offer the combination of fried catfish and spaghetti. And so in December, I really want to try Truffles, Chicago, and Pilsen because I've heard some good things that their fish and spaghetti combo is really good. The mac and cheese looks creamy. They also have some shrimp rolls that look great, as well as some lamb chops. And I love lamb chops. It's one of those things on a menu that you might as well just put market price on it. I don't really need to know how much it costs. I'm gonna get it if it looks good. And so Truffle Chicago, I'm gonna try to pull up on them in December to get my fish and spaghetti off.
These photos are crazy.
Right?
Oh my God.
If you listening and you thinking, Kobe, I know a place that does great catfish, great spaghetti, put me on 773-780-0246. I want to give a huge thank you to the CityCast Chicago team today. Our executive producer is Simone Alisea.
Thanks, Jacoby.
And our Hey Chicago newsletter editor is Sydney Madden.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Before we get out of here, please bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can catch up on old podcast episodes. You can subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. Check out our neighborhood and walking guides. And we got a whole bunch there for you. Just please head over to the website. Real quick. I can't let you go without some good news. This Friday, you can watch the holiday classic Home Alone at the Rosemont Theater out near O'Hare. Hey, but the kicker, the best part, Macaulay Culkin gonna be live in the building for a sit-down interview after the movie, and tickets are going fast, so check the link in our show notes. Hey, if that sounds like it's too far out the way, I got you. Home Alone and a bunch of other holiday movies are also playing at the Drive-In Theater in Pilsen. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're gonna be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace. Simone, are you still a little shell shocked that we are in December, less than 30 days until we touch in 2025 on the shoulder?
Jacoby, you gotta understand, time doesn't exist in my brain. I am totally divorced from the concept of time as a human. It marches ever forward, and yet here I remain. So that's how I feel about it.
Sydney, when you think back on...
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
I just kept moving. I was like, I'm not even going to try to comment, interrogate. I was like, that's a Simone answer. Let's go on to Sydney.